Hey Freedom Family, this is Mark, and I am glad that you're here at _Freedom for Life _, where we give you the tools, the truth, and the knowledge to take you from where you're at to where you're called and created to be. And man, I am excited for the conversation we have today, because today I'm going to give you the answer on how to go from having a job that you're just tolerating and hate to be at to having the career that you've dreamed of. Hey, so let's get started, shall we? And as we're getting started today, could you do me a favor and become a part of the Freedom family by subscribing? Could you hit that notification so you don't miss out on any of the conversations that we have? And could you give us a like, let us know that what we're doing here resonates with you? And do me a favor, put a comment down below and let us know the conversations you want to have with us. And don't forget, down below are our links to our Facebook and our Instagram pages. Check those out when you get a chance. But hey, we're talking about job dissatisfaction versus that career that you dream of. And honestly, I've been there. I've been where you're at. And I'm just going to come from this place right now to let you know, hey, don't do the mistakes that I did. I've been on both sides, job dissatisfaction, right? I would remember one time I had a job, and you've been there, right? Where you're just getting a job because you need to pay some bills. And so I took the job, I went in there, and every job's a good job, right? If it pays your bills, it's exactly what it's supposed to do. But you're in a place where maybe you are not kind of happy. And it was one of those places where it was like, I think there's more that I can do. So of course I threw out the resume like all of us do. And I find another job and I'm like, okay, well now everything's going to change. And I went to that new job and come to find out, it wasn't that much different than the last one. Right? You're at this place where your boss is the same boss you had before, and the promotions and the things and the increases that you think you're going to get all of a sudden don't happen, and you know more than your coworkers. Have you ever been there? I was there, and I found some things out. One of the things I found out was there was one thing that needed to change that didn't change as I was moving from job to job. And it was actually the thing that was supposed to change. It was me. There were things that I needed to learn that I didn't learn, and so I think there was this re-education process that needed to take place. See, what I thought, and maybe you did, and maybe you do right now, is that, hey, if I can change my environment, everything's going to change. If I can find that other job, that new job, that perfect job, now all of a sudden, my life's going to be so much better. Everybody's going to appreciate me. Everything's going to be a bed of roses. And come to find out, the one thing that needed to change in my job was me. I was expecting the outside world and everything outside of me to make me feel better about who I was. But what I was supposed to do was to find out who I was, and then in that place, everything was going to change. I found out in that transition, and in that time where I was unhappy for a long time, I found out that what needed to change was me to understand who I was. I wanted to have everybody else figure things out for me, and instead I needed to find out what my identity was. And in that place of knowing who I was, when I found out who I was, all of a sudden my job changed around me for the better. Here's the truth. I think we're all created for a desire to do something of significance, to have a job, a career, a business, an activity that gives us satisfaction. So here's the interesting thing. I don't think that dissatisfaction with your job is necessarily a bad thing. Because at the end of the day, if who you're created to be isn't being fed, isn't being nourished where you're at, then you should be dissatisfied. It's not the dissatisfaction that's the issue. And so if you're thinking that, well, I should just be happy where I'm at, or you get that good advice from friends and family members, and sometimes it's correct when they say, hey, be grateful for what you have. But gratitude and satisfaction are two different things. You can be grateful for the opportunity you have right now, but know that there's more on the inside of you than what you're able to see and actually act in at that point. Because here's the truth. We all sometimes have this question, hey, what am I doing here? What am I doing in this job? Why am I here, right? Is it because I have a job where I'm bored? It's one where I'm just not being utilized and I think there's more that I have on the inside? Or is it something where there's actually no place for me to grow in the way that I'm created and I'm passionate? And the interesting thing is the answer to these three questions kind of determine what action you're going to take. So if you're in a job and you're just, oh, I'm so bored where I'm at, what can you do in your job to make it more interesting? How can you improve the role that you're at, or change the procedures that you have, right? How can you invest in your job in a way that you're created that actually changes it from boredom to investment? If you feel like there's no place for you to grow, maybe there's a different answer to that one as well. Maybe it's not changing my job, but saying, hey, can I get an increased role? I'm not asking for more pay, but I'm asking, hey, can I have more responsibility? One of the things that I did that really helped me when I was doing that at one time and having those feelings was going to my supervisor and saying, hey, what part of your job can I learn? Not to take your job, but to get something off your plate so that you can do more. That's a question that'll always get you a good answer. And then in that third place, it's the truth of understanding, hey, does something need to change in my job? Can I add something to it where I feel like I'm living out what I'm supposed to? Or is this truly a place where I can't grow in all that I have? And if that's the place for you, then there's that third portion of, if this job isn't for me, then honestly, what can I learn here? What skills can I gain? What can I master that prepares me for the next job, the next role that I have? Because where you're at right now is actually the training ground of where you're going to be, whether it's in interpersonal skills, where it's in leadership development, whether it's in building your skills in your job, right? You're there for a reason. There's something there. I'm telling you from my own example. I needed to learn things in the place where I was dissatisfied so that I could grow into who I needed to be for the next role and opportunity that I have. And it's the same for you. My father used to tell me this. It's an old phrase, and it says this, hey, grow where you're planted. And I would say this, grow where you're planted until it comes a time for you to be transplanted into the next thing. Don't miss out on a chance to grow because you're looking ahead, hoping to grow there instead. Really, the question it comes down to is this, what are you passionate about? What's the thing on the inside of you that you just are dying to do, right? Sometimes we can figure it out, sometimes not, but let me give you a couple of questions to help you figure it out, maybe just for the start. The first one is this, hey, what would you do if you didn't get paid and you would have to do it for free, right? What's the activity, and I'm not talking about getting on social media, I'm not talking about your Instagram account, but maybe I am. Because there's all sorts of ways that you can actually have income in your life, maybe not now, but developing them in the future. But it comes down to this, what are you willing to do for free? Because if you're willing to do it for free, then getting paid for it is an amazing bonus, right? The activity, the thing you do, the thing that you're drawn to, what's the thing that you always find yourself looking at? I call it, where's your arrow pointing? Right on a compass, the arrow points in a direction. Where does yours point? The thing that you're always drawn to, that you're always willing to go towards, the thing that you always find yourself studying. Because maybe it's that thing that you're called to be a part of and called to develop. And so the last question for today is really this. Hey, where can I master the skills I need for the thing that I'm being called to? Whether it's at my job right now, right? We've talked about that, and I want to develop skills and abilities here. Or maybe it's the thing I'm passionate about. It's not what I'm doing right now. It's paying the bills, and I'm grateful for that, right? But there's something else that I'm called to. Well, while you're in what you're in, isn't that the great time to find those classes, those teachings, those trainings to develop you so that you move into the thing that you're called to, whether it's at your job, whether it's creating a YouTube channel, whether it's inventing something that's just been a passion on your heart. What's that thing that I can master right now that grows me so that I'm ready for my next thing when the next thing comes? And I've got something for you. I just got to be honest with you. It's going to take this word that a lot of us, myself included, are uncomfortable with. It's this word called work. It may happen in your life. I'm not saying it won't, but it's never happened in my life that my next adventure, the next amazing thing that I get to be involved in just drops in my lap. What's happened in my life, maybe in yours too, is that what I work towards, I actually achieve. So while we have these dreams and things that we desire, man, that's amazing, because that's the compass that draws you to your destination. But the thing to do along the way is to work at your craft, your abilities, your gifting, your talent, so that you're ready for the opportunity when the opportunity comes. It takes work, but I know this, you're part of our community, and I know this as a human being, you've got it in you. You've got everything in you you need to succeed in the life that you have. Really, a lot of mastering your gift and your skill is skill development, but a lot of it is uncovering what's inside of you already. And you've got a lot. So don't give up and don't wait. Why don't we get started today? Why don't today you look towards what you're gifted in and get started with one step? You don't have to figure out what the next 30 years looks like in the full development of the career and the thing that you dream of. But what's the one step you can take today? And in taking it today, you're moving one step closer to where you were called and created to be. And I need to let you know this. I'm here for you. We're here for you. _ Freedom for Life is here to help you to get from where you're at to where you're called and created to be. And in that vein, I'm just going to let you know ahead of time, probably super early, going to freak out some people, but we do have a course that we're developing, actually in the initial stages of refining it right now. We have it in a package, but we want to make sure that it's available and ready. It's called Life Mastery. And in the areas where most people want to master their life, whether it's fitness or vocational or relational or spiritual, right? Or financial, we have a course that is going to take you from where you're at to fully developed and ready and living it out as a life mastery. So look for that, and do me a favor, if that's something you're interested in, get out there on Facebook and DM me. Let me know that you want to be able to be a part of that, and we'll keep you informed as we launch that thing. It's going to be amazing. Hey Freedom Family, I'm glad you're here at _ Freedom for Life _ where we give you the tools, the truth, and the knowledge to take you from where you're at to where you're called and created to be. And don't forget, hey, do this. Become a part of the Freedom family by subscribing. And hit that notification. I don't want you to miss out on any of these conversations that we're having. And could you do me a favor and hit a like there? Let us know that what we're saying resonates with you. And if you have something you want to talk about, man, put that in the comments below. And don't forget that the links to our pages, the Facebook and the Instagram page, are in the description down below. I already asked, hey, DM me if you want to be a part of our Life Mastery course. But go out there and check out the content that we have as well. And don't forget this, Freedom Family. Most importantly, dominate your day.